All right, we're live. We are on Facebook. Hi, people on Facebook. This might be our last night out here protesting. So instead of normal, how I usually show the parking and people come in and out, we're going to be broadcasting what it is we do while we're out here. See us wave, hold our signs, get honking by people. I thought it'd be more fun than the same old, so since this might be our last day, at least for a little while, I hope that everything goes well, but we don't know. I expect that after this reopening that we'll see a spike in problems. But for now, I'm just going to show off how we spend our nights out here, waving the traffic, hoping people wave back and honk their horns. Y'all stay tuned. All right. Wasn't a big commentary.
Your friend did make it back over there.
Nice deal. We'll be back tomorrow. Oh, look at it. I was smart enough
So
to
he
find
went to Pigeon Forge, Gatlinburg area too.
I think you should. It might not have been Pigeon. I could call him and ask. Anything Trump says is a good reason not to do it. Open it too early is going to be far worse for our economy. Dude's house is the church. No, it's filming their prayer vigils. That's what and it's not. The only time I was there of late was looking for the sign that, you know, the slander is against me. You see, and I got that finally removed by showing it on video and the guy taking it down. I don't care if people think it's weird. My supporters don't. That told me that are helping me also build my website. I mean my blog and keep going. Because COVID-19 ain't going anywhere for a while. It's gonna be here for years. It'll take years. No, but we have to sit down until we get it under control. There'll be news to be said about it. Traveling to Africa or fucking India or some shit. That would cover this disease. I enjoy doing it. I mean, investigative journalism is fun. We disclosed a lot of weird financial situations over here. Doing some investigating, and then we turn that over to reporters who now turn it over to the feds, and that's the basis of a large RICO investigation. This guy used the SBA loan money that was supposed to be for repair of the church after the flood to buy which is illegal. It's misappropriated. It's supposed to only be used for the money. And of course, he claims that he's never taken any money from the federal government. I hope nobody heard that on other TV. We have a lot of these going on.
I got one. Thank you, though.
You know, like these. It's done a lot of like sketchy shit. Complicated. There's a lot more going on here. I know a lot. I talk to these people and the journalists. I've earned their trust, and it helps the federal investigator friends with my friend Scott that lives across the street. There for some discussion, and then, you know, Scott. I can't go into full detail about that shit. It's just not kosher. Until like everything is actually like investigated on the federal side. I knew about they can turn out to be incorrect because we don't know all the facts. And just later can be proven to be wrong. Hopefully those originally?
When there anything that has to do with public health and safety, yeah, that matters. Nobody has the right to other people's lives. That is the limit. Yeah, going along. I was fucking wrong when I did that. I do, but I don't do that kind of shit anymore. I was wrong for that moment. Coming out. Enjoy your vacation.
You'll have to excuse me, my bathroom's about to die. It's our kitchen cabinets. Yeah. You ought to know the Smoky Mountains are open or not.
Yeah, exactly.
Let me know, okay?
I'll let you know what it's
Okay.
Y'all have a good time. Thank y'all for coming out. Yes, oh, I will. I'll see y'all soon. All right. Church's services are starting here. Most of their people are here. How y'all doing? It's the last day of protesting, for a while. They are still using the same thermometer over and over again, not wiping it. That always scares me. They do not use the best hygiene. There's a car stopped down there past my friend. It's always a little unnerving to us because, we have people that do crazy things. Police wave to us. Everybody loves us. Hi, people coming to church. I wish you'd go home. I am always happy to all the other people. You can still go home. It's not too late. I had to use this side of the sign mostly for this one. I like this side better, but people don't read very fast. I don't like having people slow down to read. I don't want to cause any accidents out here. Like on Sunday, that accident we saw, it was terrible. And I've seen new video angles of it. Plus, I have some of my body camera footage of it, and it was a good reason for everybody to at least come together and help people in need. And that's tried to keep everything civil in a way that we usually don't. Because, you know, it's fun to poke fun at people. Makes everything more entertaining.
Say it, Trey. They going for the night. Yeah, what's my phone up after
So I hope everybody enjoys our broadcast today. Hey! See, most of the people that come to this church, like that lady, was polite. She waved. But there's a 10% of them that just really get mad at us for being here. Oh, as an officer, I'm in a Central Police Post. I always like to wait for them. I still thank them for all the hard work they've done. Even with the one incident last night, that's all been rectified. We've come to agreements on who was right and who was wrong about everything. So there was compromise made. And nobody wants to do anything that puts anybody in harm's way or breaks any laws. Holding it the wrong way. Camera gets to see the good side. People get to see the short side. I might have to switch to my Tony Scott one because people like always wave on that. But as you see, people wave, they honk. That's what really keeps us going out here. It feels good to know you're helping people and the people appreciate it. We do believe we've had an impact on the number of people who are brought here in the bus ministry and the most vulnerable populations. And we hope that we prevented some people from becoming sick and dying with all the attention. Those people did not. There's some good people. People in that truck did not slow down before they turned in. They must have turned in at 40 miles an hour. Some bad drivers in this church. That's one thing we find consistently true. Drivers in this church are not very good. Last night, while I was over there in the ditches, I slipped and fell right on my butt. So I am a bit extra sore today. And I'm probably going to have to use my stool some to sit down instead of just at the table. I use my stool. I love any word that can be used as a double entendre, like stool. Do you think that guy down there needs some help? Man, it seems like it's getting dark early today. Nice. The sun's down, makes it a lot better for not getting sunburned. The backs of my ears are sunburned like you wouldn't believe. And since I cut my hair, my entire scalp is sunburned. This nice wind, and it's basically beautiful out here right now. It's about the best we can hope for. There aren't even any gnats, and we can't smell the sewer. People don't realize this, but this church has a broken sewer line that pours sewage out into somewhere over there. And when the wind blows, or doesn't blow, and if it doesn't blow it away, it smells like hot sewage. large population of gnats to live here, which usually around this time come out and we have to swat them like crazy. But right now there's none. The wind's blowing in the right way, the gnats aren't out, we can't smell anything. This is about the best day we can hope for the conditions of being out here. Unfortunately, it does look like the initial view where there weren't that many people. The parking lot is starting to fill up on both sides. The side behind the camera holds around 27, 28 cars usually, and it looks like they're at capacity. And this side over here, wow, someone was smoking some very strong marijuana just now. That's the other thing we can tell out here. Everybody who drives by smoking weed, we can smell it. I'm amazed more people don't get pulled over by the police just because the police smell them in the car behind them. I never thought people could smell pot that well from a car driving by. But man, it is strong. Or maybe some people around here just have really good marijuana. I don't know. Yeah, the wind just shifted, so we're getting some sewer smell. At least there's still no gnats. Well, I shouldn't have said that. The gnats come. I jinxed is bad. I don't even believe in luck. That is a terribly ugly Chevrolet truck. Like the front of it looks Chevrolet written like that.
Yeah.
The back looks fine. It actually kind of looks like a Dodge Ram.
I know. I hate the way they designed the new Chevy. They look too much like other stuff.
Yeah, but that front end was, what was that? Like, hey! As you all can see, Central is strongly behind us. Hi, person, you can go home still. That was a honk of just being polite by one of the church members. I always give credit where credit is due. And that was nice and appreciated. I'm gonna go see if any of y'all have made any comments that I need to respond to. Don't need help, y'all sick. Yeah, I'm not gonna ask Tony to heal me in any way ever because, yeah, he ain't touching me. Oh, my, apparently the man who's in love with me is on, Zane. Oh, I got a friend calling. I'll be right back. Hello. Hey. Yeah. Like, I'm not gonna let Tony touch me. I just went and looked at him. Good solo. Yeah. Yeah, well, he doesn't like it. Unfortunately, I'm just not available for him. No matter how much he sounds like a vagina. to the crazy, absurd extreme. But yeah, what if I was in love with him? Oh, but hell, I'm not gonna, if I find love, I'm gonna find love. I don't discriminate. need to ask for Chester. Where are y'all at? Y'all in Pigeon Forge? Okay. Yeah, well, Chester and his wife are going up there tomorrow. Everything's still going? Yeah, that, I told him. I'll give you the number. Alright. Cause yeah, I told him, I was like, when they said they were going, I was like, man, that's disgusting. Coming back.
sure we'll have some other reason to keep it here.
All right, man. All right. I'm getting to the way too coffee. But Tony changed all that. I was just gonna hold a sign, wave the traffic. But well, first Maggie, she did the first attack, and then of course, I now know that she's the one. Right after I filed the police report against her, after she tried to hit me while I was on the street, barely missed me in my car. She drove down the shoulder 50 feet at me at 45, 50 miles an hour, swerved around me in the car, and just flew into the parking lot. Well, after I filed that police report, and she probably was aware, I wasn't paying attention to her. And once all the police leave from across the street where we were filing the report and getting video together, and I'm coming back to my car to leave, that's when she parked behind me. And a lot of that video is probably short. I don't know if everything's really on there. But I was at my car for quite a minute before I go and talk to her. And I didn't realize it was the same person who just tried to kill me. Two guys going to church. But we got two cars that love us. So, people are way, way more supporting us. Even here on the eve of people being allowed to go back to church, they still are supporting us. Because I think most people know we have no business actually opening up things right now. I'm not going to go to any new places that are opening or restaurants or anything because I'm not going to be a human guinea pig. But if these people want to be lab rats, they're going to be lab rats. I just hope they don't kill people that don't want to be lab rats. I don't know why the president wants us to open up when cases of COVID-19 are going up, deaths are going up. Nothing has gotten, New York is seeing some betterment, and that's good for them, but everywhere else it's still just as bad or worse, and we have new hot spots all across the U.S. and the world. Opening up things is going to cause more people to die. No one has the right to infringe upon other people's right to life and health and safety. The governor should not be capitulating to business interests. Businesses aren't people. I know they don't and should not. Well, they have way too many rights. They shouldn't have any rights. People should have the rights. Businesses are just something people own. I'm not saying a car has rights. It's ridiculous, the rights that are given to businesses. Corporate personhood is ridiculous, and they're allowed to live as immortal entities. They have way too much control over what government decides to do. So instead of scientists and doctors being listened to, the experts that should be the only people telling us how to run our nation right now, our government is instead giving in to the interests of businesses and pundits and politicians that don't know what they're talking about. They just make up stuff and decide to believe it. And preachers. Those are not the people that need to be making any sort of decisions during a pandemic. Right now, everything should be in the hands of doctors and scientists, experts. But Trump fired all those people. So, know, we don't have any of that. Our governor was doing a good job, but then I don't know what happened. I don't know why he's giving in like this. Once the Attorney General started like saying people need to be able to go to church and get haircuts, neither of those are essential to life. You can cut your hair at your house. I did it just 2 days ago. It was easy. And, you know, people can visit their church and practice their religion anywhere. They don't need a building. Those are actually two of the worst places I can think of to allow to open. People crowd together in all kinds of ways, and churches, and barbershops and salons cut pieces of people off that fly all over in the air. And I mean, I don't know if the coronavirus is spread through hair, but you know, I don't want to take that risk. Aerosolized hair particles, breathing that in, and how do you know you're not going to get COVID-19 from that? I don't know, because I haven't heard a scientist or a doctor tell me about it. I've just heard political pundits and politicians say, oh, people need to be able to do these things. That's why on Saturday, I'm beginning my protest against Phase 1 reopening of Louisiana, or as I like to call it, the Keep Louisiana Sick and Dying plan. We should not let other states be the guinea pigs. We're at a crossroads of interstates and the river, railroads, transportation through this country comes through Louisiana, and that puts us at a nexus point. It makes it so easy for us to have problems. And in opening up air travel with our international airport, we do not need to have more exposure coming into this state, which we will have. Because other states have already started doing far too crazy of things, like Florida's opening up beaches and basically everything in Texas. That's going to cause us problems here in Louisiana. And I don't want to be part of the sick or dying or an asymptomatic spreader of disease and kill people. And we do not have enough information at this time to be making the decision to open up this country. And anyone who thinks we do, I don't know where they're getting it from. They're just making up stuff. People do not realize that the number of deaths and the number of cases being reported on the television, those are minimum numbers. The death toll could be 2 or 3 times higher. We don't know, because people in nursing homes and assisted living facilities, they're suspected deaths, but we can't even determine if they're probable yet because of many different conditions. And until testing can be done to confirm how many people have had coronavirus, how many people are asymptomatic spreaders, and how many people have truly died from the numerous different ways that coronavirus is killing people. I mean, the numbers that we have are not things that you can calculate statistics off of. If you try dividing the numbers out, your margin of error is going to be like 500%. You know, yeah, you can say that, I mean, that makes statistics worthless. We do not have the information at this time to be making the decisions that are being made. And every time a scientist speaks or a doctor speaks out about it, the federal government fires them. That's why we're in the situation where we're a powder keg about to explode. All the experts that you read in any real science or medical journal, the consensus is that we're opening too early. And what matters is the consensus of doctors and scientists. And there is single authority is not a way to find out information. It doesn't ever matter what one person's experience is, or one group, or one area. In science, you have to test things in a variety of situations, cross-test it, come to a consensus, and then we have an idea of what we think is most likely correct based on the information we have right now. And we then also apply scientific uncertainty and never assign anything as 100% true, because there's always the possibility of new information. But none of that is being taken into account. They just want to open the economy back up as if that's magically going to cure something. If it's just going to have to be shut back down again, even more businesses will go out of business. There's a time like this that we have shown that we need to never go back to normal. We've proven that our piecemeal healthcare system is inadequate for dealing with any sort of disruption of the normal amount of disease and death in this country. We desperately need to nationalize healthcare. We have no real emergency response plans to deal with things like a pandemic. If anything, I mean, we have emergency response plans to deal with things locally. FEMA can take care of a hurricane here and a tornado there. But when it happens in the whole country at once, our lack of any sort of coordination between our emergency services leaves us with 50, at minimum 50 different policies and ways of dealing with things. We have to change how we do things in everyday life now. We have to realize that we need to have in place real plans to deal with and prevent catastrophes that happen on global scales now. We are not immune to what happens in the rest of the world. That we live in a global community. And if we are not prepared for the mistakes made anywhere else affecting us, we will have more pandemics and more problems like this in the future. The world is more connected than ever. A pandemic like this was inevitable. I mean, the last time the world was as connected as this was the World Wars, and we all know that led to the 1918 influenza epidemic, which they called the Spanish flu. That didn't come from Spain. Spain just was neutral during the war and reported about it. First known cases of it were actually in the United States on a military base where 12 soldiers died. So it might be more, people don't think it originated here, but a better name would probably be the American place. But again, history is written by the victors, and people never want to be the one to blame for something that killed 30 million people. Fortunately, COVID hasn't killed that many, we hope, but we just don't know. It doesn't just kill people with respiratory problems. Plus, the government is spending hundreds of thousands of dollars per person in the hospital because all COVID-19 cases, all medical care is being paid for by the federal government, and we're spending extraordinary amounts of money keeping people alive, and that keeps the death toll down. If we'd have been able to do that during the Spanish flu, the death toll may have been 10% of what it was. We don't know. We don't know what the death toll and infection rate would be if we hadn't taken the measures that we have taken. That's when people say, oh, the estimates that came out early were so overinflated. They weren't. We just took measures to prevent them from getting that bad. That was the whole point of us finding out and being told what these potentialities were. But Americans can't see past the short term. This is not a short-term problem. This is a long-term problem. We must be looking towards the future and how to prevent this, not only in our country or our state or our city, but in the entire world. There's no longer a separation between people in different places. And if we don't adapt to that, we will not be able to continue to be a world leader. We will fall behind the rest of the world that is actually trying to adapt to things. But as long as we have a president like Trump we will not get anything better in this country. He knew much more about this virus much earlier than he claims to. He was briefed about problems in Wuhan as early as last November. People were already dying, and the Chinese government was covering that up. But they're a totalitarian state. Of course they're going to lie about what's going on. So Trump, he wants this to be a totalitarian state, so he lies about what's going on. I mean, the man can hardly open his mouth without saying something that isn't true, or that he just made up, or for some reason tells people they need to inject bleach. The things that comes out of this man's mouth. However, how in the world did we wind up with a president that is as big of a moron as Trump, who also lost the popular vote? It really also shows that we need to get rid of the electoral college system and elect the president by a popular vote. That way, the executive of the republic is not elected by a small number of people based on gerrymandered districts and other voter suppression efforts, but instead the actual will of the people. And the president would have a real mandate and we would maintain the republic because we have elected our representatives. We do not live in a democracy. We live in a republic. And it is great that we would like representatives to do the work for us. But the man at the top of the executive branch should be elected by the will of the people, not the will of a very messed up system where if a state is won by 50% plus one votes, suddenly all the electoral votes go to that one guy, even though the will of the people was they were basically 50-50. Many things have got to change, and this needs to be a wake-up call for those changes. That was a bit of a rant. Those are my personal views on how the world needs to change and respond to this pandemic. But that is not why we're out here right now. We are still trying to keep people aware of the dangers of COVID-19 right now in our community, and people spreading it irresponsibly, as well as the violent nature of Tony Spell, Maggie Spell, and Nathan Thomas, and their attacks on my person. And I don't think I have to say alleged attacks. They attacked me. It's on video. I know it happened. Other people, they have to go with alleged. But I know that they happen. Facts are facts. I'm taking a look at the camera to see how the decreased light is showing. Let's see. Oh, we still got great views. Me and man walk away. Why don't y'all be men and do what? Me and man walk away. Why do we need to walk away? We're here trying to help protect the community. We're even trying to help the people that are, in this church. We're not going to walk away because we're doing the thing that's right. We're being men and standing up for what we believe in and how the world should be responding. We have every right to do so. That is what America was built upon. I bet people making that kind of statement think that America is a Christian nation. We are a secular nation, and we were not founded on Christian values. Freedom of religion is not a Christian value. Freedom of speech is not a Christian value. The right to protest is not a Christian value. Due process rights are not Christian values. The 14th Amendment outlawing slavery, definitely not a Christian value. The Bible's all about slavery and tells you exactly how to do it and exactly how much you can beat your slaves. You can beat your slave to death as long as it takes them 2 or 3 days to die. But you can't knock out their eyes or their teeth. Then you gotta like pay a couple shekels of silver or something. I don't know. You know, because money can buy off any wrongdoing in the Bible. Oh, I have been a little ranty. I hope everybody's enjoying it. I like going off on random tangents and talking. I could do it all day. I often do. So I hope y'all are finding that entertaining. I will occasionally go back and check some of the comments. I can't see them right now. You know, they are on the other side of my phone. I use the good camera, not the selfie camera, the video, because I'm not a moron. I also don't take any videos in the upright, in the portrait position. I do them in landscape so that, you know, they fit on your screen right. And you can actually see everything captured by the photo sensor. When you hold your phone in portrait mode, the sensor is still picking up all the side information exactly the same. If the camera lens is round, it just cuts off all that stuff that you can't see on the sides. All you do is lose part of your picture when you use portrait mode. So please, people, if you're recording something to be on the internet, always remember to turn your phone sideways. It really helps people at home viewing it. Fills up their computer screens better. It looks better on your phone when you turn it sideways. You can see so much more. And when you're watching YouTube on the TV, it fits your TV. You don't have a bunch of blurry bars on the sides. You know, it's nothing but win. There's pretty much never a reason to take a video with your phone in portrait mode. If you're gonna take a picture in portrait mode, you can take a portrait. But if you're gonna video, always remember, turn your phone into landscape. It's always better. Just shove it in there hard, right in the rear. In case Zane's listening, I know that probably got your ears perked up because you just seem to love me so much. Oh, and I will continue with that joke for as long as Zane is paying any attention to anything on anything I post. I know he loves my sexiness. I can't blame him, you know, I am damn sexy. But he's just not my type. Hi, people. It's always funny when people slow down but don't actually wave or halt. This sign's still good visible? The black sign's more visible? Which one looks better at this time of night?
The white one actually is more visible.
I wasn't sure. Think about holding a sign, you can't actually see it yourself. Oh, we got a crazy driver. You see that? That kind of driving is what led to the horrible accident that we saw when someone was making a U-turn right here and the woman behind her with a suspended license was flying down this road at 75 to 100 miles an hour and ran into the back of her. I don't know how everybody managed to live through it. It goes to show how safe cars have become. I got some of it on my camera, but Scott got it all in his, and he watched it. And I haven't seen it, but he described it to me, and it's. I mean, the lady was in the right-hand lane. She got into the left-hand lane to make the U-turn. Yeah. And when she did, she wouldn't have. The woman that was driving at her was probably 3/4 of a mile down the road. And then, 10, 15 seconds later, she's driving right into the back of him. And of course, Tim Spell blamed that on us.
Yeah, I know. I had to edit that and post it myself.
Said, because he says that she said she was looking it up. At the speed she was going, she wasn't looking at anything.
Yeah, right.
She definitely wasn't looking at the road in front of her. And that's what you should be looking at.
Did you see when she hit her brakes? She was like a meet to that car when she hit her brakes. She almost was in the car's rear end before she hit her
You
brakes.
think she actually hit the brakes?
Lights came on, so
I think that happened like during the hit. I don't know. I haven't looked at your video of it. My video from my camera, I have the sliding of the car across the street.
Oh, that's the part I missed because I did like that whenever that happened.
Oh man, it's only a few seconds, but it's really terrifying.
Oh, yeah, that was a lot.
It was.
I thought she was dead whenever that other car was coming.
I thought she was dead when I walked into the car.
I know you did.
Right, she was not. I was glad she was breathing. It still took her a couple minutes to really realize what was going on.
Yeah.
And I'm glad everybody went to the hospital, and as far as I know, they're all okay. But I'm glad cars have become a lot more safe. The rear of that Nissan, I mean, it crumpled. But inside, she was fine. I mean, not fine, but much better than... I may have just been sent video of this accident.
Oh, wow.
I'm not going to show this on Facebook. Luckily ending up in a driveway instead of a ditch. Our city is full of deep ditches with and she was almost hit by another car when she was flying across the road. That would have been much more tragic.
That probably would have been.
Probably so. Thank you for the videos. Yeah. All I had on my camera was unfortunately my dash camera, which would have caught the whole thing from two different angles. the battery died. I lost audio. I might have been talking too far away. Can y'all hear me? Let me know if people online, if y'all can hear.
You should be good on the volume because I could hear you at my volume turned almost all the way down.
Alright. Alright, it's back. I'm sorry if if the audio was out for a little while.
Oh, the wire fell out?
No, I mean, that just goes to a battery. It's just the microphone on the camera is all I got. If anybody wants to donate a camera and microphone or a tripod for any of my future work, be gladly accepted. Not anything new, used stuff. I don't want anybody buying anything, but if somebody's got some used equipment they don't need or want, you know, I would gladly use it. Make my presentations a lot more professional. You could also, if anybody has a video editing rig that they don't use anymore, you know, an old computer that can handle some actual video editing, I could take that off somebody's hands, possibly come up with some cash for it. But my laptop I've amassed so much video now that trying to put it together and edit it has become beyond the scope of my storage and processing ability. After losing my good computer in the flood, I haven't really been able to build a new one yet. I look forward to building a new one, but you know, right now it's not like there's a lot of money-making opportunities out there. Keep Louisiana safe. Trust doctors and scientists. Always, even without having to keep Louisiana safe, trust doctors and scientists. They're always the people that we should listen to. Because they are these things called experts. Experts actually know what's going on. They don't use things that are inherently wrong, like common sense. Another name for common sense is intuition, which is basically just a guess. It's a personal experience and personal bias made into a thought. That is not fact. And it's not something that a rational person should use to judge any situation. Always remember that things are not true unless they are evidently true. Without evidence, there is no reason to believe any claim. That's why I find that religion has no evidence for me to believe their claim. Now, a person who experiences a personal revelation, they have, you know, the evidence they need to believe what they believe. But they can never provide me with evidence that what they experienced happened, that they aren't lying, that they weren't hallucinating, that they weren't sick, or they weren't schizophrenic. I can't distinguish between those. And because of that, the idea of revelation is not a valid way to convey evidence or anything as anything other than gobbledygook. It's only something that the person who experienced it has any reason to believe. It is irrational for anyone else to take what they say as fact. Because there is no way for you to know that. And since that is the basis of every religion, except for, like deist religions, that, and panentheism religions, like the Baha'i faith, I think the Sikhs have a similar view. But, all religions based on the concept of some people being revealed magical knowledge from some god. And they never come down with any proof of it. Why does God only reveal knowledge to one guy and then everybody has to believe it? Even though it's usually something that's in the best interest of that guy, or makes that guy money, or invents the job priest, you know, person who doesn't contribute to society and gets people to give them tithes. Yeah. Oh, because he's going to save their soul in an afterlife that, again, there's no evidence for at all. Just like there's no evidence for a soul, there's no evidence for an afterlife, there's no evidence for anything supernatural. Otherwise, it would be called natural. And it is those kind of belief systems that cause major amounts of harm in this world. When people believe things that are not evidently true, they believe irrational things, they then hate other people who don't believe those things. That leads to violence and war, discrimination, slavery, exploitation, rape. It's amazing how everything in the Bible is centered around heterosexual, cisgendered males getting everything they want, and everybody else pretty much being treated as less. Leaving? What are you leaving or waiting? Or are you just waiting? I mean, it might be the best. It's the last day. It might be. Yeah. That's why I wanted us to have us as the subject of the video today rather than them. Yeah. Because this is our last, hopefully, our last day together. It may not be. I personally think that this is going to be a tragic idea of this reopening of phase 1 nonsense. A lot of people are going to be harmed. We could simply actually wait for better information. If we waited for better information, we would be far less likely to cause harm to people. But instead, we're all going to be treated as lab rats. If I were y'all, I would do the same that I'm doing, and that will be to not participate in anything that is being opened up. I will only go to places for essential need and still maintain social distance, wear a mask, use sanitizers. We should have a law request. They're going to open things up. It should be required for anyone going into anywhere to wear a mask. Yeah. Because my mask doesn't protect me. My mask protects you from me. I need the other person to wear a mask so that I'm protected. A great analogy for that is two guys have no pants on, and one guy decides to pee on the other one. That guy gets peed on. Well, if he puts on pants and the guy still decides to pee on him, he gets less pee on him, but he still gets peed on. However, if the guy doing the peeing puts on pants, he only gets pee on himself, and the other guy doesn't get peed on at all. It's exactly the same for wearing a mask and coronavirus. It's just not pee. It's aerosolized particles of virus. So I hope that illustration helps some people understand why masks are necessary for everyone when they're in close quarters. If you're wearing a mask and there's someone that's not wearing a mask where you are, 6 feet is not an appropriate social distance. They need to be more like 50 feet from you. Do not confuse social distancing as a method of not needing a mask, or you wearing a mask protective for yourself. The mask will not protect you. The mask will protect other people from you. So every time anyone goes into a store or building or whatever without a mask on, they are putting other people's lives in danger. They are taking away other people's right to life and safety. And no one has the right to do that. Plus, normally it's illegal to wear a mask in public. This is actually a liberty that we don't generally have. You could, before this pandemic, if you walked into a store with a mask, you could get arrested. And most people would assume you were there to rob them. So, all these people that I've seen phrases like mask equals muzzles, actually mask equals a whole brand new liberty that we haven't had in this state in ever that I know of. I mean, whoa! Man, those people with loud horns, they scare you. They support you, but they can scare you to, oh, I might have scared some of y'all. I hope it did, because that got me. I'm going to try and cut down on my random rants for a moment, have a sip of beverage, check and see what people are posting or commenting. In just a minute, I need to sit down. My back is killing me. Oh. Well, now I need my cane to stand back up, and I left it over there. That's going to suck. Okay. Time to try and get up. This will be a bit of a pain. Please don't make fun of me for this awkwardness. Alright. Okay, I'm in a standing position again. I got the sun back. I may actually have to sit down today. Well, I can stand generally for a rather long time, and walking is generally okay. The first reason I got the cane for is that I get random weakness and numbness in my left leg, and it caused me to fall a couple times, so the doctor prescribed me a cane. It also, since I've had sciatic acting up, standing up and sitting down often requires the use of the cane. I try to not use it as much as possible to build up strength, but the longer I do any particular thing, like standing up, sitting down, or laying down, the more I'm going to need the assistance to get up or move. But I'm trying to fight it and get better. I've only had the cane for a little under a year, and I'm hoping to not have to have it forever. As soon as I get medical insurance again and get into some physical therapy, I'm hoping I can ditch the cane altogether. Having mobility impairment. I've been handicapped for 18 years now, but the cane makes it so much more obvious. It makes me feel like I'm old. I'm only 39, I shouldn't feel like I'm old. But you know, when your body starts falling apart on you because you got hit by run off the road by a school bus and hit a tree when you're in your early 20s, you know, it kind of changes the outlook of your life in a lot of ways. But I'm just complaining now. I'd rather rant about something than complain about myself. Let's see what y'all are saying. And see if it's getting too dark for this camera. No, still got good views. Today, JR. I don't know what this Stephanie Rogers person is talking about. Oh, I've lost a lot of viewers. Hey! Yeah, Tony does claim he can heal that back, and they definitely preached that at me while I was protesting at the prison. They invoked the Lord to heal me, and yet I haven't been healed. So I'm gonna have to say that. Yeah, I'm gonna call bullshit on that. And I'm definitely not going to let any of these people touch me. I don't want to get their virus, and yeah. Plus, the whole concept of faith healing is, ridiculous. If their God actually, wanted people to be healed after Jesus, the thing that happened. Yet about 1,000 years after Jesus, because Jesus, Christianity caused the Dark Ages there for 1,000 years, where people forgot all technology and how to write. They didn't call it the Dark Ages because it was dark. And then they had the Crusades. But then after that, during the Renaissance, when they finally started figuring out what people knew thousands of years ago, led to the Enlightenment. And that led to medical science. So once man got out of the initial oppression caused by Christianity in the Eastern world, medicine and science developed and actually, created ways to heal people. So if God is responsible for everything that has happened in the world, then he is responsible for, science and medicine. And why would anybody need to be magically touched by people which has never been shown to do anything and actually been proven to do nothing by people like the Amazing Randy over and over again? But instead, medical science actually, heals people. That's why we don't. When Christianity was in control of the world, people died in their 30s, and now that Christianity is not in control of the world, people get to live into their 80s and 90s and even to be 100. That's commonplace now. But in the heyday of Christianity controlling the world with kings and lords and all the nonsense the Bible describes as being what, God set forth to be, everybody died of everything. And they had all the things like plagues, crusades, inquisitions, the lack of anybody being able to read or write, unless you were like one of very few scholars or probably a monk. But that, I think, was part of the Dark Ages. The educated priestly class could read, and no one else could, so, they could make anything say whatever they wanted. That's why King James had the Bible rewritten by 300 random scholars, but from the worst sources ever, making the, absolute worst translation of the Bible ever created that can literally be stated to mean anything. I know this church mostly uses the King James Version because, boy, you sure can bend that to your will, and I don't know, the doorman over there is leaning against the pole. I think he's just watching his phone. Maybe he's watching our broadcast. Hey, guy, if you're watching, hello. And ever since the Enlightenment and the founding of secular nations like ours, that were based on the opposite of Christian values. This is not a Christian nation. It is a secular nation, a secular government with freedom of religion, freedom of the press, freedom of speech, right to due process. Eventually, even outlawed slavery. We gave women we gave women suffrage. We technically have now the votes and passages for the Equal Rights Amendment, but unfortunately Virginia's adopting of the Equal Rights Amendment happened a little bit after the expiration date. I do think an act of Congress to fix that, or we could just, do it again. We could really use an Equal Rights Amendment because the Equal Protection Clause is just not enough. Women are paid less, people are discriminated against for all kinds of things. I understand discrimination. I've been an out atheist since I was rather young, and we're one of the most discriminated against segments of the population that exists. Normally, a 30-something-year-old white male like myself is the predominance of power in our society, but I'm an atheist, so, people like Tony Spell say I'm sinister and evil and possessed by demons. Use that to discount anything I say because, I don't believe the same thing as him. I think that makes him a bigot. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's bigotry. And bigotry is wrong. But that's the kind of thing taught at these places, bigotry. They teach you to hate homosexuals because they're different, hate people of other religions because they're different, hate people from other parts of the world because they're different, hate people that don't believe in anything because they're different. Jesus didn't teach people to hate. The only people he hated were the people charging interest for money lending, which is another American system that is definitely not Christian. The Bible is very clear on the lending of money and charging interest as being one of the worst things you can do. That's one of the main complaints that terrorist Islamists use as one of the great reasons why America is the great Satan, because we charge interest on loans. Jesus was the exact same way. That is why he kicked the moneylenders out of the temple. And he did so with violence. He didn't ask them to leave. He fought them out. So, Jesus didn't go around attacking many people, but he certainly attacked what we would call bankers. The basis of America is, business. And the business of America is business. And business runs on finance. And finance runs on interest. So there's the whole basis of our economic system is antithetical to Christianity. Another proof that this is not a Christian nation. It's a nation that has Christians in it. Of course, anyone can go and read the great work by President Madison in the creation of the Treaty of Tripoli after we defeated the pirates, defeated most of what was the worst part of piracy at the time by sending our Marines in to take over and stop them in Tripoli. It's the Marine Corps slogan, the Marine Corps song, from the halls of Montezuma to the shores of Tripoli. It was one of the first major achievements of the United States military in any way, by our oldest and longest lasting part of our military service, the Marine Corps. And in that treaty, it specifically states that as the United States is not a Christian nation, that we can have a peaceful treaty with Muslim men and it be perfectly in line with the ideals of America, because this is a land of freedom from religion as well as freedom of religion. And no one's freedom of religion has any right to infringe on anyone else's freedom from religion. All things that are not Christian values. Actually, I can't think of any amendment to the Constitution that is a Christian value. Now, we only have 3 laws in common with the Bible at all. It's illegal to murder, it's illegal to steal, and it's illegal to commit perjury. Nothing else that the Bible says is wrong is illegal, because it's not wrong. And I wonder how many of the people in this church are wearing poly-blended suits. You know, because you can't wear any clothes of mixed fibers. They have a garden at home that has more than one kind of crop in it, because that's grounds for stoning. And you know, if you're a single woman, or maybe a homosexual woman who lives on the fringes of society, they'll call you a witch and burn you. That's Christianity. That's what the Bible teaches. It teaches not morality, but it gives excuses to be immoral. No one has ever needed a book to tell them how to be moral unless they were a psychopath. All of us have evolved empathy from being social creatures. Empathy existed in our lineage long before we were modern humans, and long before anybody knew how to read a book. And morality existed. Because we have empathy and we have the ability to understand how our actions would, you know, affect other people, we can put ourselves in their shoes and decide, no, that isn't the right thing to do. Religions make up rules as to when you can be immoral and treat other people without the respect that all humans deserve. That is why we do not share laws with the Bible, because the laws of the Bible are evil. They're inhumane, and they are the antithesis of the American experiment. And none of that is my opinion. All of that is fact. That is facts of history, facts of the legal system, and facts of the founding of this country, and facts of the history of Christianity. I'm sorry if that's upsetting to some people, but it's not actually up for debate. You can believe whatever you want, but facts are still facts, and they are right. Belief is just something you have in things that aren't true or don't exist. That's why they call it faith. If it was true, they would call it knowledge. And there is no knowledge to be found in a holy book. I mean, just the history alone. There is no history that fails as much as Bible history. To quote one of my favorite YouTubers, Holy Kool-Aid, as I'm going to give credit to the people who deserve credit. Because nothing fails like Bible history. Well, except for Bible science. That fails even harder. 100% scientific claims or explanations for natural events that are in the Bible are false and have been proven so for over hundreds of years. At least some parts of the history are technically, historically accurate as to, you know, a year event occurred or some things, but, you know, not anything before, say, Solomon. Until you get to the Solomon part of the Bible, everything before that is 100% mythological and did not occur. There was no Abraham. There was no Moses. I mean, how did Moses write down that he died in his own book? That's really hard to do. And those guys, when they were talking to God, were always talking to the wind, or a thunderstorm, a burning bush, a desert tornado, what do they call it, dust devils. You know, they're never talking to, you know, some personification of a being. They're talking to nature. create all these allegories to explain why events they see happen. It's the exact same as the mythology of any other ancient people. I mean, we all think that, Greek and Roman mythology is laughably silly for how they ascribe why the world is the way it is. Well, Christianity does and Judaism, the Abrahamic religions, Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, do the exact same thing with their mythology. And it is mythology. The section of the library you go to find a Bible is the mythology section. Mythology is the teachings, the writings, the stories of the religion. The practice of those things is called superstition. And the interpretation of ethics of that is called its ethos. But again, people don't apply the same scrutiny they apply to every other religion to their own. If you want to know why your religion is false, think of all the reasons you think every other religion is false. Then apply that to your own religion. And there you go. Your religion is false too. Because it makes every same fallacy that every other religion makes. There is the exact same amount of proof for Jesus as there is for Zeus. And that would be 0. Oh, I'm sorry, I've gone off on religion too long. This was really supposed to be about COVID-19 today. But, being here inspires me to talk about crazy religion. I think that, since Easter, I've spent more time near a church than in the rest of my life, because these places are terrible. I see a lot of movement on the inside. It's almost 9 o'clock. Are they going to only have an hour and a half service today? I thought today they'd be having a long service, maybe even a dinner. We'd be here till 10:30 before they were walking out, so we'd be here till 11:30 at night waiting for them all to leave. But there's people coming out. I might be a smoker. They do have a couple of dirty sinners that go to this tree over here and smoke. Because I guess that's the ostracized tree of smoking, where you go to sin but not be seen, There's a lot of pageantry that goes along in this place. Oh, I did not do a count of the cars, but I'm going to do a quick estimate. There's probably about 30 on the one side. I'd say a similar amount on the other, so maybe 60 cars are here. Assuming that, an average including car, maybe there's 180 people here tonight. It's not their lowest, it's not their highest. It's a little low for a Tuesday night. It's actually really low for a Tuesday night. This tends to be, a little bit more of a, I don't know. These people have to go to church 3 times a week, twice on Sundays and then on Tuesday. Unless you're poor. If you're poor, you only get to go to church once, because they won't send a bus to pick you up any other time. It takes 3 times a week to save the souls of all these people. But if you're poor, you only get 1 time a week. The rest of the time, you better be saving yourself. I don't know why do they have their extra service on Tuesday instead of Thursday? If they had it on Thursday, they'd be, really maximizing the amount of week and how close it is to their days when you're not in church. It's still not done Wednesday to be different. But no, they go with Tuesday, so you only get 1 day off between being in church all day and then you get to go to work, and then you get to go to work again, and I don't know when these people eat. Oh yeah, that is the smoker at the smoking tree. That's definitely what's going on. Is she pregnant? No, I think she just doesn't look like she's heavy set, but she definitely looks like she has a belly. I hope that is not a pregnant woman smoking. If anyone is watching that goes to this church, and I know y'all do, if that woman that's smoking out there is pregnant, please try and encourage her to quit smoking. That is just terrible. I know y'all consider that bad as well. They're definitely looking at walking out of the sanctuary. This place has giant windows, so we can see things going on inside, like that we don't want to. It's really funny. They have a giant window with a mirror on the other side on the wall that you can see through the window, and often I've seen Shay walk up to that window, to that mirror, and fix her hair and stuff, and not realize that we can see her doing it through the window. Oh, it's like, don't use a mirror that has a window right behind you. Can't you see that in that mirror that right behind you is the outside that everyone can see? I don't know. Maybe I just have a little bit more respect for people, than not seeing what I do when I'm using a mirror. Oh, there's two people at the smoking tree. Wow. Sometimes it gets up to 3. Oh, Zane's back on. Hey, Zane. Sorry, buddy, but my booty is not for you. I know you want some of it, but you're just not my type, man. I mean, you are kind of a vagina, but, not the kind I'm looking for. And, I'm not going to count out love from anybody of any gender. You never know who you fall in love with. And that means male, female, and people of non-binary genders. I don't discriminate. But you, sir, I definitely will have to say no. I'm sorry. I know you just seem obsessed and in love with me, and you seem super jealous of my friend David here and our close relationship. So, you cannot even have that. Where we're not even going to be that kind of friends like we are. We're definitely not going to be the kind of friends where you get to touch my butt. Just letting you know again that all the paying attention to me you're doing, it's just not going to work out, dude. I'm sorry, you're just not my type. Oh, let's see what other people are saying. Zane says he didn't go to church. I can stay home if I want to. You should stay home, Zane. It's a death trap in there. Wow, you're actually being the responsible person in this church? I'll give credit where credit's due. I am glad you stayed home, sir. Anytime somebody does not come to this church, I am proud of them. Wow, that girl almost looks like she might be pretty. Yeah.
They got some pretty ones in there.
I'm sure they do have pretty ones in there, but pretty women that are brainwashed are still brainwashed.
Yeah, exactly.
Evangelicals are just not my type because we don't agree about anything. Now, I mean, maybe for one night, as long as I don't have to listen to her talk. But I think they consider that a sin. They hate sex, I think, unless you're married. I don't know why. Sex is just as much fun when you're married as when you're not. I've been both, and sex is great, married or unmarried. I encourage people to have sex. Keep it safe, but, enjoy yourselves. And whatever kind of sex it is you want to have, I approve. There is no wrong sex as long as it's consensual. No matter how many people are involved. As long as it's consensual. And honestly, the more people that are involved, the more fun it probably is. The more fun it is. I really shouldn't have said that. My sister's watching. But I hope this broadcast has illuminated how much fun we do get to have out here with each other. We are here for a serious reason, but we try and enjoy ourselves. We're getting our information to the people in the cars. We're waving. They're honking. We're all having a good time. It was a little rougher when I was here by myself. You know, I just stood here silently holding a sign. And that's all I ever expected this to be. But, you know, things worked out. And I've made some great friends. My fellow protesters are all people I greatly enjoy and respect. And we'll continue to be friends with after this is all over. I made friends with people across, neighbors of the church. So they're almost like family to me now, because they look out for me, make sure they look out for all of us, make sure that anything that happens is caught on video, so you know we feel safer out here. Thanks to everyone that's been great to us. We've had so many people stop and tell us that we're doing great work, or I mean, there was a Pentecostal minister that stopped and told me I was doing God's work because Tony Spell is just hated that much by other Pentecostals. I don't know what this man has done to have so much ire against him. I mean, from people that in a community like Central that has such strong Christian faith, but this guy is not. He's managed to really upset and piss off just about everybody here. The government, the police, the people. That's why I almost no one that goes to this church lives in Central. This church is not made up of our community. I mean, there are people here from our community, but not most of them. And especially once you start adding in all the people that get bused here, then, you know, the vast majority are not from anywhere around here. They're from wherever those buses went. Yeah, wherever it is they found these poor black kids. I don't know why they just don't go looking for, you know, poor people. They got to be racist about it and only pick up poor black kids. I think there's poor white kids and poor Hispanic kids and poor Asian kids that also could use a free meal, but hey, Tony wants to be sure to point out that he's not racist by being racist. You know, if he wasn't racist, he would just say he was helping out people in need. People. Well, we are. Humans. There are no races of humans. There's one race of humans. It's called Homo sapiens sapiens. We are all the same race. The phenotype of the colors of our skin isn't even a gene expression, really. It's made up mostly of the different folding of proteins in certain cells that control melatonin, and it's not really a genetic difference of any magnitude. There's nothing more racist than considering people to be different races, in my opinion. I see us all as human. And that's why whenever I fill out a form and it asks me what my race is, I put other, human. Or, if that's not available, Pacific Islander. Or when I was in school and they were counting us as black or non-black for desegregation purposes, I would be non-black half the time and black half the time because I didn't like that they were trying to describe us by race. Even though it was for desegregation, which was a good purpose, I still, even then, did not believe in, races. But at least we were allowed to self-identify. So I identified as whatever I felt like that day. But I am of the human race. And that is the only race that there is. Everything else is just a skin tone. I mean, if different colors makes things a different species, a different race, then a peacock and a peahen aren't the same race. They don't look anything alike. Or a rooster and a chicken. Or hell, a bull and a cow. You know, like you start dividing things up by color. Does that mean my dog isn't the same race as a Dalmatian? Both canine familiars, same race. I don't know why they think in humans that the color, the amount of melatonin in our skin, the adaptation to the latitude in which we evolved in, somehow makes us, different species. Because there's no difference between the word race and species. They mean the same thing. Just another one of the artifacts of scientific illiteracy, so common thanks to religiosity. Of course, religiosity is a terrible thing that does harm our country. But it is nowhere near as bad as the teaching of creationism. Creationism teaches people to deny science. Pretty much all of it. Because, all the sciences prove that, geology proved that the Bible was scientifically wrong and disproved the whole thing when they figured out in 1803 that the world was at least millions of years old. It did take a while for physicists to figure out a much better idea of the Earth is 13.8 billion years old, and our planet being 4.6 billion years old. It's definitely not 6,000 years old, or if it is 6,000 years old and God created it, he sure did go out of his way to make it look like it's not. I don't know why it'd be such a jerk. And if he did, so if the world was created 6,000 years ago, that means he created all of this giant universe and all these stars and stuff, and also created light in transit to our planet, traveling at the speed of light. So it would be getting here now, even though it was only created 6,000 years ago, we're coming for something millions of light years away. That just seems like a waste of resources. And also, if God created the universe, why did he create a universe that 99.9999999% of it will instantaneously kill you? We can exist exactly on the skin of this one planet, as far as we know. If you go about, 10 feet up in the air, you'll be injured. You go 50 feet up in the air, you die. If you go 1 foot underground, you'll die. Pretty much, we got this very narrow area that we can live on, and we live on a planet that even 70% of its surface, if you were on it, you would die from drowning. So, and the planet goes out of its way to try and kill us all the time with hurricanes and tornadoes and earthquakes, tsunamis, half of which could be alleviated just by not having plate tectonics. But no, this gracious God, did not couldn't be bothered to create a world that didn't try and murder us every day. People die every day of natural disasters. Natural evil is a problem for every religion to explain with their omni-gods. Why is there natural evil? Also, why is there totally unnecessary evil? I mean, people claim that some free will, which there's no proof anybody has free will. Have you ever been able to go back and make a different decision? I don't think anybody's ever been able to do that. I mean, maybe one day we'll be able to create an experiment where people can be put into a situation and they can act, and then we can reset that person's brain chemistry, make them forget what their experiences in between, put them in the exact same position with the same quantum state of all their particles and the exact same brain chemistry, the exact same external conditions, and see if they actually make a different decision. But we don't have that. So, yeah, there is definitely no evidence for free will. I personally don't believe in free will. I mean, your decisions are a factor of your environment, your experiences up until that point, and your brain chemistry at the moment you make a decision. And a change in any of those could lead to a different decision. And none of that's up to you. Those are all things far beyond your control. So we have faux free will. We have an experience that seems like we're able to make decisions, but we're just part of a long causality chain. Very complicated. But you don't have free will. That's why I don't blame the people at places like this for being who they are, because I don't honestly believe they had a choice. I do think the world can change and the choices be better, but you know, we have not turned around and addressed the people leaving like we normally do. I think I'm going to turn the camera around so we can. We like to say goodbye to the people leaving because, you know, they're leaving here. And I always try to encourage them not to come back, so for their own health and safety. I won't be able to say, well, I will be here on Sunday, but I won't be protesting, so I won't be saying see you next Sunday. I usually say I hope I don't see you next whenever the service is, but then I probably will. Maybe I can start forgetting the vehicles of all the people that come here. One of the most worthless things that's been ingrained into my brain is what every car coming down Hooper Road that goes to this church looks like from a mile away. I really wish my brain didn't work that way, but man, it's hard for me to forget nonsense like that. It just sticks in there. Oh. I mean, it's great in school and for learning things, but man, it sucks when it's about things you don't want to know. I can't forget anything. I would love to be able to forget all the things I don't want to know, but they just won't go away. I mean, 20 years from now, I'll still remember every minute of this being at this place. Well, let's turn the camera and maybe I can just pan it around here. Let's see if we can get a good turn and it still be level and stuff. Sorry about that light. We're going to capture the exiting folk. Pan down some. Okay. Yeah, unless it is a cult. We all know that. He does all the cult things, you know. That's why he has these services during times when people would normally be eating. A big cult practice is to keep people hungry, and then you get them all hopped up on music and dancing, and it causes people to lose the ability to make rational decisions, so they're more likely to do what you say or give them money. And that's all Tony cares about. Hey, thank you! Tony's all about the money. We all know it. He knows it. That's why he gets mad whenever people aren't putting enough money in his coffers. Tells them that they're not going to get anything out of church unless they pay up, basically. Because he's getting those NSF checks, returns. I don't know why he's so bad at accounting. He's getting an NSF check. You know, don't write a check. Who writes checks? Who accepts a check? Who do you write a check to? I haven't used a check in 15 years. And even then, I just had a checkbook that I never wrote any checks from. So, he can't do proper personal accounting or business accounting. And apparently spends money he doesn't have, and then gets upset when people don't give him money to cover that. even though he can afford giant buses. It's not an RV, it's a bus. Do you know what hallelujah means? Well, that's what that translates to in English. Good night. See you tomorrow. Well, I won't be seeing you. Bye. I really wish someone would translate hallelujah into English. You know, it's a word. It has a meaning. The meaning of hallelujah can't just be hallelujah. That isn't a description of anything. That's like saying the definition of is. It's nonsense. They are filing out, but they're filing out extra slow. I wonder if they've got, maybe they're, I mean, we can hear their music. That's the altar call.
Yeah.
Yeah, they call the ending music altar call, and the beginning music, praise choir. Those names seem backwards to me. Seems like when your altar call is like, come on in, let's get going. And praise choir, that sounds like, hey, let's praise in Jesus as believers. I don't understand the terminology of this place. You know, it's not for me to know. You know, I'm not one of their members, and it doesn't matter if I understand their terminology. Hell, they probably use confusing terminologies because it's confusing, and it keeps people, you know, unbalanced, unable to really think for themselves and make a rational thought. Instead, they just blurt out whatever it is that they've been told and ingrained into them, like they've been listening to Rush Limbaugh on talk radio, and just regurgitate whatever that man says, like, you know, all the conservative crazies in the world do. You know, the alt-right, the racists, and violent extremists, government separatists, the people that are a very, very vocal minority. They're sad that they're losing their control over the United States. I mean, those people have had serious meetings about how the United States isn't going to be white anymore, because the majority won't be white, and what they can do to try and fix that, as if it's a problem. I mean, this is a land of immigrants. I mean, when 100 years ago, the Irish and the Italians weren't even considered white. And they just, there's some weird racism that's always ingrained into the far right, conservative Nazi weirdos. But that's, you know, the basis of Nazism is extremist right-wing Christianity. I know a lot of people like to say Nazis aren't Christians, but they are certainly Christians. That's why their belts all said God is with us. And that's why the SS oath required you to denounce the ideas of Darwin and evolution, to accept Jesus as the one and true Savior of the world, and the Trinity as the true God that exists. You could not be a member of the SS without making that oath. And yeah, so all that mythology about the Nazis being atheists or pagan religions, it's not true. They were Christians, all of them. Just like most of the Germans are Christians today. A lot less. Germany is becoming one of the more open-minded countries. I guess when you do such close-minded things as the Nazis did, your children had to rebel against that and become decent people. Is that the assaulting truck? Man, I can never tell. There's two trucks. The one with pink TRO on it, I guess it's a Nissan truck. I can never tell from this distance. It might be.
It's a little bit bigger, but I can't tell because it no fault.
Yeah, I think it's got an. My view of it was very from the side and you know, fast, because you know I thought I was gonna die. That was scary. I mean, I was very scared of the bus. There was just suddenly a bus in front of me. But oh no, that's not the guy. Oh no, I talked to that guy earlier. I came out. I did a small video. I actually sat there for 30 minutes before that doing a video that I didn't hit record on. So yeah, I made a terrible mistake today and thought I mean, I did some good protesting. I was out here doing the same kind of thing, showing what I do when I'm out here. But yeah, I didn't hit the go live button correctly. And then when I was going to pick up my camera because I was really leaving, I accidentally hit the start recording button. So I had to quickly say something. But that was me being an epic fail. I spent a good half hour, 45 minutes talking to the camera that wasn't on. So, and I had some good stuff, I think, during that time, but none of y'all will hear it. Well, I think I caught the audio on my my personal camera here. I know I wear all the time because I never know when somebody's going to try and drive a car at me. I recommend people get body cameras, and you get one of these little battery packs. Man, well, I'm sorry I got that in a special pocket right now. So you get one of those little battery packs, and you can, and a 32 gig card, and you can record for 7 hours on one of these little cameras continuously. And that pretty much gets you through most anything. This camera doesn't overwrite video, so once you fill up the card, you fill up the card. I don't know if it supports a larger card. I need to check into that. A 64 gig card might give me 14 hours, and then that's more than I'm ever anywhere. But you do have to then take it out and delete the stuff off of it before you can record again. Alright, there's more people leaving, so I'm going to go show up the sign to them and wish them a happy day. Goodbye! Don't come back! Your life may depend upon it. But have a good night! No, they don't even like wave or say something. Most, you know, how hard is it to roll down your window and say good night? Good night! I won't be out here protesting on Sunday, so I won't be seeing you. Well, I will be out here just counting the number of people, making sure y'all don't go over 25%. My voice carries better than yours. I can't understand you. I know my voice carries well. Stay home. Of course, going to this church, you'd think people might, I don't know, help you fix your car. That ain't gonna happen. Still playing music. It must have been on for a while. Drive like that in the parking lot. What is it weird? Running around, driving stuff. Oh, they're going to another person's car. Okay. Maybe. But those kids, sometimes it just seems like people are being insane. They drive weird. Oh, like people drive Central because they love us. We even love these people. We're trying to save their lives. They're too worried about their fictional souls to worry about their actual lives. They think they'll get some magical reward once they're dead, not just, rot in the ground. Hell, they'll probably be in some casket and won't even get to rot in the ground. They'll be preserved in a box for a long time until the earth sucks. That's why I'm going to be cremated or natural buried. I want my molecules to be recycled back into life as soon as possible. That is how life goes on once you die. You become part of new life. We are all made up of all the life that has come before us. Dinosaurs ruled this earth so long that every drop of water you drink at some point in time.
Tell me what's your biggest issue. Yeah, you better get back because you might be fearful and die. But I would like to know. Hold on. I can't. You shouldn't be here. Look, listen. I am a veteran. Listen. Zip your mouth. I'm a veteran. I'm a veteran. And it's disgusting that anybody feels that they have any higher claim on my life than I do. I serve this country. You're the only one on the side of the road. Do you see yourself? You can stay in. It's illogical. Listen to me.
No,
it's
it's
illogical.
not illogical. We're trying to protect our community.
No, you're not.
Yes, we are.
That doesn't make any logical
Yes,
sense.
it does. You don't
You
understand
stay
logic.
in. You stay in if you're
I know.
scared.
My rights are not.
What's the mortality rate of this virus?
No one knows. Because
0.1%.
No,
How
that is
many
not.
people?
That's the
Yes.
mortality rate in the United States is over 2%.
0.1%.
No, that's the flu.
No, 0.1%.
No, you're wrong. You're factually incorrect.
I'm not.
Please go away. You're illegally parked.
It's okay. I'm
No,
not worried about
go
that.
away.
I break the law anyway.
She is breaking the law. She's
I'm breaking the law. No.
This woman is breaking the law right now. She's parked illegally.
Are you the atheist that wore the science shirt? Well, that's what's funny.
Please stop describing what we think you're doing.
See, y'all want people to hate you. You should want people to hate you. But that doesn't make any sense. Listen, I'm a veteran. We don't care. That's the thing. We don't
That makes it even worse. You're just making it worse.
Oh, God. There we go. Yeah, there's your problem. Got it.
That's my
I
problem.
got it.
You believe in imaginary beings. This woman is illegally parked and driven at us on the
The
side of the
Constitution
road.
says you can assemble. It doesn't give you a particular
Yeah.
number.
The
They didn't say
only
you
thing
can't.
right to assembly is limited. If you're no, I do know what I'm talking about. Because y'all are breaking the law.
Have you not seen all the
We are legally assembling in less than 10 people. There is no law being made against the church. No one's religious right is being questioned. Assembly is being questioned. You're in the way of traffic. Yes. No, I'm not. You believe in imaginary characters, and that's good for you. But right now, you are breaking the law by being parked like this. It's very dangerous. No, it doesn't. My mask protects other people from me. And that's the point of that. Yes, it is. I could be an atheist about it. Anybody could be. the wrong way down the road.
Yes, ma'am, but I'm not like getting in people's faces.
That right there is getting somebody hurt.
Yes, thank you.
Ignorant right
Yeah,
there.
She is still driving down the wrong way.
Just drove like a quarter mile all the way to the Cracker Barrel, the opposite way of the traffic.
Y'all saw that
It's
too.
literally on.
I'm gonna report her to the
I got a
police.
phone call from one of our guys. Hey, where'd they come from?
She came out of the parking lot and y'all's parking lot. She was at the service. She says, and that was insane.
What all did she say to you?
Well, she was saying that we're crazy for being out here.
No, it's
that-
your First Amendment right.
Exactly.
You have a right to be out here.
Yeah, that we're
If you lose your right to that, we lose rights to it.
exactly. She's
That was what
saying that we're trying to infringe on y'all's religious rights, which we're not. We're worried about assembly rights. We're in no way, concerned about religion.
she's coming back this way.
I got her recorded. I'm gonna go ahead and
Yeah.
I
You
got
have
the
a
license.
plate
I
number?
got it recorded. I'm gonna call the central police. I'm calling it in now. I mean, luckily she drove all the way down to Circle K like that. Yeah, we are. She was aggressive and unnecessarily. But yeah, thank y'all for coming out. That was great.
Yeah, I got a call. Somebody out here. That's good.
Yeah, thank y'all for jumping on it. Well, we won't be protesting anymore.
She said that there are two officers that are taking out. I literally got it on video.
That was
She
insane.
literally drove in the
And
road
I mean,
the other
they all
way.
saw it too. It's like we were all in agreement here that was crazy. We all just we all just went through somebody having a terrible accident here, and then we see this.
After the accident, y'all might have moved.
Well, I mean, we're in the safest place we can be. That had nothing to do with us. Please don't blame us. I know your mom's in there.
Like, I don't know that. I told her don't do it, but I mean, she has the right to do it. Not the legal right.
Get tired driving down there, turning into I thought the Circle K video will be in there. Yeah, I was like, it's illegal for you to be here. As soon as I got behind the car and turned on the video. And so I got a license plate, then more were yelling at us. I a good thing, but it has
Yeah,
nothing to
okay.
do with anything else. I mean, being a veteran's great and all, but I don't give a fuck. Oh, and I was going back on Facebook.
Oh, she is. Oh, that's pretty.
Oh!
Just crap gets you.
Did y'all see that? That crazy woman that just drove by?
Oh yeah, your sister messaged me about.
We called the cops. She drove. I mean, I've also got video of her license plate and her driving all the way down to Circle K on the wrong side of the road. She then turned into Circle K and came back. Even the people here at the church, like someone called their security and told them a woman was out here parked the wrong way on the road, and they came out here and saw her drive down. Like she maybe when she noticed that they were there that she drove off, but we all agree. I mean, us and them just saw a terrible accident happen here on Sunday, and then somebody comes and does this. I mean, and she was in an enraged state. There was one oncoming car. Fortunately, she didn't hit anybody. That was just scary and unnecessary.
That's the wildest thing I've seen since I've been here. I know you've seen crazy stuff, but that's the first time I've seen somebody get that crazy.
Yeah, I've had another person drive up here from the church, though he was just coming to talk.
That young guy that drove like the little Toyota.
Hey, there's the guy that, this guy here is the guy that drove his truck at me. Yeah, now that's Mr. Nathan Thomas.
Yeah, the super right wing.
Which I think it's funny because there's a flat earther named Nathan Thompson.
Thompson, yeah, I know him. I've met him before.
Really?
Yeah.
Man, that dude is crazy too.
Oh, he's
Like-
wild. Did you hear about his charges because he went to a schoolyard and was yelling over the fence at the kids at recess?
Oh yeah, I did. I saw the
What
video of him
heck,
doing it.
dude? Yeah.
He was videoing himself doing it.
Like, dude, you're
Dude, you're a
incriminating
fucking
yourself.
idiot. You don't get to go yell at school children.
Yeah.
And telling them that their teachers are lying to them isn't going to change a goddamn thing. That's the stupidest fucking thing you could do.
Like, no matter what, like, you believe, you
Holy
can't go to
shit.
school children at school.
Oh man, that woman just got live broadcast on the internet being as fucking stupid as possible. I mean, proclaiming dumb shit. She got out of her vehicle, got up in your face.
Yeah, like,
I mean, hell, that might even be considered simple assault. She was being very aggressive, and her level of anger was on the verge of violence.
over here blowing up like that.
Yeah, she just jumped out of there blowing up at me.
We literally have done nothing except quietly protest this whole time.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't even do much addressing
Yeah,
of the
we
people
haven't-
here.
yeah,
I'm not even
exactly.
going to show off signs to these people anymore. I'm going to leave my camera running so people can know who's leaving here if they want to not be associated with them. But well, everybody watching, y'all just saw some really crazy shit go down. I'm glad I caught it all on. I caught it on my personal body cam, on this camera with Facebook, and then I walked behind her and recorded her with my other phone, driving the wrong way down the road the whole way. So I've got 3 different videos, maybe 4, 5 videos, because I got my dash cam and it goes forward and sideways. I got the crap out of this woman on video, plus across the street video. It's gonna take me a long time just to get all that stuff downloaded so I can give it to him. But that woman there was fucking insane.
I'm gonna have to definitely go to your
Holy
Facebook Live now and get that.
Oh man. Did you explain to her that it was really how bad of a situation that just was?
Oh yeah.
Okay, because I want to see the police. Like, I mean, I can always go tomorrow and bring them all the video and stuff,
Yeah.
but and I will do that. But man, that was insane.
I thought all the
And she
crazy
said
niggas-
we were being crazy for being out here
Yeah.
by ourselves, not in any way spreading any virus to anyone. My having a mask on and being near no one is definitely not going to make me sick.
Yeah.
And I've never heard the Surgeon General say anything about masks make you more likely to get sick.
That's
That sounds like some
conspiracy
fake
crap.
news she read. Yeah,
I've
conspiracy
seen that
theory
crap
bullshit.
On Facebook, that's conspiracy.
Oh, man.
But she's a nurse. I think she's fake with the nurse
Yeah, I
and
did.
vet crap.
Well, I never know.
Yeah, you
this-
don't, but she just didn't appear unless she's one of those crazy.
I mean, she started with veteran, and then like when I started like calling her on her medical stuff, she started saying she's a nurse,
Yeah.
and it's like, wow, if you're a nurse, you need to be
Double
fired.
bad.
Well, if I can find out who she is, I'll turn in this video to her employer, because she's giving bad medical advice, acting extremely irrational. Like, a person like that should not be in anyone's. No one should be in their medical care.
Heck, she should get a suspension on her license doing that kind of crazy.
Oh,
crap.
she will. Like, that was reckless endangerment.
Heck yeah.
The way she drove up at us was completely unnecessary. All of it's on video in multiple different ways. I guess she just didn't know how much camera I have.
And then she's gonna bring her camera like she's doing something like.
Yeah, it's
You're
like,
just making it way worse for yourself. You got like 6 cameras on you right now.
yeah, it's like, well, I mean, I have 5 cameras,
Actually, yeah, more. 'cause
and
his
there's
and
4
mine.
of those can see.
So
So
a 12.
yeah, and hell, for all I know, some of them also recorded because they're still out talking about that shit too. Why else would they be there? You know?
I wonder if she told them she was gonna come out here, like, cause they got out here quick.
No, the
they
main
were
security
pulling
guy
out.
said somebody called him.
Oh wow.
So there were a couple people that were behind. They were coming out,
yeah.
and as soon as she turned on to here, I think one of those people called, because like, I mean, the security people have told. I mean, I've talked with them, and they said that they're keeping their congregation from messing with us, and because there's been a couple people who have done
Yeah.
stupid shit like that. And they don't want that they don't want violence happening against us. They've already had enough of that. It's more of that is bad. I'm gonna also try and get this to the news.
Heck yeah, dude.
Hey Abby, are you watching? No, I don't think you're on. I'm gonna have to send you I'm gonna have to send her a link to this.
You have our contacts?
We're Facebook friends.
Oh, that's awesome.
But I mean, she uses it's like a private Facebook. Like, it doesn't. The information on it doesn't point to a person that lives here, and she doesn't use the same last name as she does on TV.
Oh, that makes sense.
I really shouldn't have said that where people could hear it. Sorry if I outed you in any way there,
I mean,
Abby.
you didn't say what name she's using. So.
Yeah.
Even her real name, I'm pretty sure there's a ton of people with that type of name. That just sounds like a super popular name.
I think I'm going to go ahead and stop my broadcast. Everybody, the couple people still watching, thank y'all for watching. We're going to wait for the police. I've got so much video of this. I'm pretty sure every one of my cameras caught it. I mean, I'm wearing a damn body camera. I videoed her with my phone for getting her license plate. She was live broadcast on Facebook. My dash cam has front view and view out of the passenger window. And the cameras across the street caught all that too. Oh, I need to call Scott and tell him to look at his video. Oh man. Holy crap. Scott, if you're on, check out your video. Do it. I'm gonna change your name and start calling you Richard all the time. Or Dick. Why don't you go by Dick? Man, if my first name was Richard, I would go by Dick. Because I'm a dick. I'd be so proud of that. But yeah, there's no reason for me to keep broadcasting anything. That kind of ruined all the fun that we were having. And again, we got real humanity, a real act of humanism when everybody came out here to make sure we were okay and to make sure that woman didn't drive down the street and kill somebody. That was just totally ridiculous. Of course, one of them did say, yeah, we thought y'all would park somewhere else after that accident. They are still trying to blame us for that shit. Even though, yeah, we're perfectly legally parked. And, yeah, a woman driving 100 miles an hour down this road was not distracted by us. She was distracted by not paying the fucking attention to where she was driving. Thank y'all all for watching. We had a good time tonight. This is our last protest for now, so we don't know when we'll be back. Sunday I will be out here just to keep track of how many people are going in to the best of my ability. Saturday, I plan to protest at the state capitol against this phase 1 reopening. If anybody wants to come out there, that'd be fine, though I hope not too many people. And if you come out, I'm not asking you to come out as part of my group. You know, like, I don't want to be leading a protest that could potentially have too many people. But people are free to come and see what's going on. I'll pretty much just be out there somewhere, wherever they let me set up with my camera and my sign. Good night! I know! David, they say bye. Y'all have a good night! I hope y'all don't fill the church up past 25% on Sunday, because I will be here checking that. Alright, everybody,
John David, nobody calls me that.
So she definitely don't know. I mean, somebody just probably showed her on Facebook.
yeah. Well, I mean, I look at your Facebook, and sometimes I say John, and then say David, because I know that's what
I think most people do go by that.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I talk to you, you understand that. I just see you on Facebook so much that sometimes it just comes out that way. I try to always, then I always say David after it because I don't want to just call you John. But that's just because, hey, wait, come back. Maybe it's something more important. We needed you right now. Why didn't you stop here? Well, I mean, there's a real crime going. Maybe he's not driving fast now. Or is he driving into the parking lot?
Turn around at the park. Did a central cop come whenever you were parked at the park, or just sheriffs?
A central cop came first. He came while I was parked in the park and told me I had to move my car because the park closes after dark. I was like, well, there's no sign saying that. And he had to be a jackass and say, like, yeah, there is. I was like, okay, show it to me. Like, I'm going to go move my car because you asked me to, but...
I wonder if that's the same cop thinking that we were at the park. Like, no, dude, I said we were protesting. They're having church tonight. I don't know if that's it, but it just looks kind of...
All right, well, I'm going to end this. Hopefully that cop will come back. I don't know why he went in the park, unless there's... I mean, there could be people in the park doing something weird. I don't know. But he's still in there and come out. All right, good night, y'all. Thank you for watching. I'm sorry that crazy shit had to happen, but at least we caught it all on as many cameras as possible. Everybody have a good night, and Tell your friends to watch the end of this video so they can see that crazy woman going off, claiming to be a veteran and a nurse and giving terrible medical advice. Good night, and I'll see y'all Saturday when I am at the state capitol protesting the reopening of Louisiana.